Can someone just hold the light here? I'll just...
Dad? Is he doing it? Dad? Dad?
Dave's never seen me. Did you get a postcard from him 3 years later? Signed me ghost. Right, now, where we're going to put this, so we're going to do our chat.
What do you think of this old place then, eh?
I love this place. I can't wait to do the investigation.
Getting
You
excited.
can really feel, you can already feel that it's
Can come, yeah.
electric here. Electric here, it's like electrified. Like you can feel in the air, the energy. Can't wait to see what comes through.
Getting excited.
Very excited. Do you need any more?
No, I should have worked.
Everybody, we start. Hi, this is Dave Collin. I'm live in Stanton down in England with the Christine Rose Hunter, Chris Halton, and his colleague Eddie and Ursula, my daughters Eva and Elsa, and another individual right here that you can't see because he's silhouetted by centuries of spiritual camouflage. There's the Right Reverend Eddie. All right, Eddie, how are you?
Yeah, good.
Are you feeling anything?
Oh, God, yeah.
Okay.
Very
This
strong.
is a tax collector I read about him.
Mm-hmm.
He collected for the Queen, for Queen Elizabeth.
Yeah.
They kept him here so he could collect Queen Elizabeth's taxes. Okay, how are we? I understand American women annoy you.
No, any woman.
I've got three
They're all
very,
nice.
I've got three very annoying American women in my phone here. They're guaranteed to annoy you. Thank you. Okay. Oh, there's a glass of water here. We heard planes taking off.
Right, I need a proper platform to do
The
this.
aircraft launch, you know, the afterburners. We go past, I'm sure they'll set it out.
How many, yeah?
Slightly.
It's what I mean.
Chris, why do they have those chapters up there? I said, is there anything to that? Why have all
Sorry?
in there?
Oh, there's a special word to describe those books, but basically they are, it's the testament, isn't it? The thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not commit adultery.
Oh, I didn't
Indeed.
notice, okay.
I think they're called Decimus books, but I'm not sure.
So they killed 22 prostitutes in here?
That is what we got on the board session.
Exercise them of their demonic,
He wanted to try and do away with prostitutes. But that's when we hear the women screaming and that and crying out for help. That's the real teller.
Oh, I thought it was because they didn't pay him. Isn't that how you make a home loan? All right, well, I got a missed call from somewhere, and it's from Britain.
Missed call.
Yeah, this is interesting.
Yeah.
Why did I get a missed call from somebody in England?
Who do you know, England?
Unless it's just
Unless it's that girl that you never let you go. So I didn't look at the bar.
no, unless it's the rental car company or something in our apartment.
They don't have your number, do they?
The only thing is the wearing was a bit strong.
Well, I don't have a, you know, I got a message here from Eva. Did you message me?
Possible voice there.
You sent me pictures, honey?
Oh, I think she was waiting on
I can't get any until we get back to the States.
I mean, I called you on my phone.
Right now you did?
No, that was early.
Every time I go to the States, I can never get on Facebook, I get blocked the whole time I'm there.
That looks like an English number, right? But no, 49176.
I'm sure, because they used to get me stuff.
What do you think the old place then?
It's something. It's something for sure.
This is one of the smallest churches in the UK. Yeah, one of the smallest.
You know what that chain was used for?
Sorry?
You know what that chain was used for up there?
We think it would have been a light.
Okay.
It might be incense.
That's what I was
something like
thinking,
that.
maybe, yeah.
So it's possible if any
So
of
you're going to be
those.
walking in here and doing on here.
So there's 15
Talking and
students
stuff?
here?
We picked up on 15. They still keep going on. They still keep going on.
I believe it.
There's Chris and his.
It's,
I love the way you.
it's absolutely crazy.
I love your
frankly.
You have a very commanding presence. I'm not saying it to sound facetious. No,
We've
when you put your hands in your pocket.
been doing this for about 6 years now.
Really?
And some of the stuff that we're actually had has just been amazing.
Can't even imagine what you've got.
will be one day.
Can't even imagine the things you picked up before
Yeah, if you go on
spent that much time on it.
on the Facebook and look into Haunted Saint Church, you'll see the videos that I've done.
A ghost. Hang on, look.
Yep, it's a ghosty on.
Okay, I'm gonna carry out. I wanted to always do this. I hope I don't I'm not struck down by the spirit. Is this blasphemy if I walk in the spot?
No, the church is like unconsecrated now, right? It's not an active church.
Repent! You must repent. I'm starting a new church. I actually kind of like this. I think I'm getting the call. Oh, I just noticed a beautiful roof.
Actually, I don't want to go in there.
Isn't the roof in, who's
There's you singing in there, isn't there?
roof? Is that Milton?
You are singing in there. Yeah.
Don't worry about
I
it.
heard the singing, I don't mean
Gotta
so.
confirm, right? That was
Right, we were in there, but there's,
It's
I think,
near Aldborough.
I know, we were there. But I'm thinking, if I remember correctly in my memory bank, that was Mildenhall known for a beautiful angel roof? I believe so.
Known for what?
All right.
Mildenhall was known for what?
Their church, isn't it known as for having a beautiful angel roof in the interior of it?
There is, I've never, and I can't think of, I don't think I've ever been in there. Don't think I've ever been in there.
This is just a channel.
I'm just trying to get evidence, I'm not trying to take a picture, I'm sorry.
Well, let me move out of the way.
No, they.
So
the
this
guy
was never a
likes
Catholic
American
church,
women,
right?
so-
Now it's Church of England.
Right, so this wasn't affected by the Reformation or prior to Henry VIII? This
No,
was the-
not at all.
Okay, so. Who is it?
Stop it.
Are you the pizza delivery man? Oh, okay. Repent, sinner!
You have to be respectful, okay? You're
What?
respecting
What's the guy's name that she's dating?
Stop. David?
Eric David. Is that his last name, David?
I don't know.
Huh? Do you have what is it, an
What's
Oedipus?
our voice there?
Oedipus complex? Oedipus, thank you, sorry.
I'm sorry, where did you go?
I'm sorry, I didn't go to a Catholic university. Oedipus,
I
thank
thought
you.
you were like the classical scholar.
I am a classical.
Yeah, well, I'm an inch taller than you, just probably, so.
I think most of us graduated from the University of Life.
That's right.
That the most robust education you'll ever get.
Well, Eva proved a hypothesis of mine. She went to a highly esteemed
How many
private
times is he gonna say
Jesuit
that?
Catholic high school.
Oh, haven't heard this before. Still in our head.
And graduated, and she still proved that you can do all that and still be an airhead,
You're horrible, man.
Were
right?
you talking in there, Ursula?
I am.
You are. Okay.
And this
Heard the voice.
is an artist. You're gonna go to Venice and be an artist. Oh, I was gonna ask you, did Venice stink or is there?
No, it does.
It does stink, so that's not like an urban legend.
No, it does come on places because they got.
It turned into a six hours.
Sewage system.
It sounded like,
We're gonna hold something.
We get that a lot. What's that inside there?
yeah, I wonder if it took it up.
Hopefully so.
shove that in there. There's a lot of rigmarole, just
I know.
for film, you've got to
Right.
get so much stuff ready.
The filming's the easy part.
Yeah, once you've got it up
That's
and
like
ready.
doing the golf tours, doing the tour is the easy part. It's everything involved in it.
Oh, and the technical side.
Yes, everything.
My jacket showing underneath.
Do you want it to show or
No,
not?
I just wanted to get that focus.
No, pull it, put that down a little.
Yeah.
Put that down. Yeah, there you go. Okay, right. Okay, good.
Well, one more day. Put that one in. What's that for mine?
Oh, wait, that's not,
I'm not sure you got it or not.
Just hold that over here, Dave.
What's that?
Yeah,
Okay.
towards the camera. I mean, this doesn't halfway. Right, I've got 2 bars, so we should be all right. But I might
Wait,
change
oh
batteries.
no, did I lose it? I think I'm gonna lose it.
Right, now, so what I need
How
to
did
do
that happen?
is do a sound check.
That's weird.
Oh, I've got to turn things out on here. 1, 2, 1, 2. Right, okay guys, I'm just going to do an intro so if everybody can stand behind the camera.
No chewing gum and no
Where's Ursula?
passing gas.
Hmm?
Where is Ursula?
Inside the vestry.
Oh, right, okay. Was she rushing up some sound?
Yeah, turn off your sound. and your
Okay.
phones.
Silencia. Well, as promised earlier, when we were filming outside, the light was still there, it was getting dull and dark. And as I said earlier, it was also very overcast. And tonight, this particular church, which we return to, is completely enshrouded in fog. Certainly within the church itself, we're picking up indications of activity, and we'll be more or less, and we will be very intrigued to find out whether our surprise guests for tonight's investigation are likely to provoke the activity which occurs within. And for that purpose, coming here all the way over from Chicago, Illinois, I have Ursula Bielski and her family. And to start off with, I'll bring Ursula to the camera and she can tell you exactly how she feels about this church and of course any indications of whether she's picking up any type of activity here. Also joining us will also be Eddie, and with Ursula is her partner Dave, sorry, ex-partner, sorry, yeah, right.
You can say partner.
Also joining us tonight, let me just do that again, I think I've marked it up very quickly. And as I promised you, we return once more to
Voice.
Stanton Church. It's now dark, outside is very, very foggy. In fact, the church itself is completely enshrouded by a mist. Certainly coming inside the church now, you can pick up some indications of activity, but I'd be more interested in finding out what our special guests here tonight are feeling themselves. And for that purpose, can I welcome all the way over from Chicago, Illinois, United States of America, Ursula Bielski, her partner Dave, and their 2 daughters, Elsa and Eva, who would like, do you want to, oh, sorry, do you girls want to say anything on camera?
Not really.
No, you should. Hang on.
I really enjoy
Get
it.
it right. So, okay, who's coming on camera? Well, Eddie will, Ursula
Yeah.
will.
I will, if you want me.
Okay, let me do this again. Sorry. Ursula, I'm going to call
Want to
you.
be on there?
Ursula, can
Yes,
you
come over in that general area.
stand at the back of the camera and then I'll call you over to you. Okay, we'll just put it
There's a bit of filmmaking in the background.
Stop talking.
And eventually we returned to Stanton Church. It's now dark outside. There's a very thick mist which has completely enveloped the entire church in fog. And it's very quiet and very still. I'm certainly hoping that tonight we're going to pick up some very interesting activity, and to help us achieve that, we have some special guests over from the United States. And firstly, may I introduce you to one person who is very well known in the paranormal community, and that is Ursula Bielski. And Ursula, if you would like to come over. I'll just take the mic off and then you can chat to that. Thanks for coming over and joining us here tonight.
what a place we are in.
What do you
This is
think?
Incredible.
Yeah, you find it incredible?
It is, just when we got here, we took a walk around the area and the trees.
And the
And then
atmosphere.
the atmosphere in the church rising up out of this. And I understand the church is not in use anymore. But this beautiful flint wall, and when we came in through the creaking door, it's just the perfect place for an
And flint
association.
itself is quite rare in the States, isn't it? It's not a very common stone.
It is extremely uncommon, extremely uncommon. Very few structures in the United States made of that, so it's really something to see.
Yeah, here in this landscape.
It's everywhere,
It's everywhere.
everywhere. But walking into here, you really feel, I was telling Eddie, it's one of those places where you actually feel, it's almost like there's an electricity in the air.
Mhm.
So I'm really
It tingles, doesn't it?
yeah, and I feel that's a sign to me that it's an active place. So I'm looking forward to seeing what happens.
Any other impressions since you've been here? Have you smelled anything unusual, perhaps?
I haven't yet. I've heard that's one of the manifestations, so we'll see what happens.
I mean, we're obviously hoping tonight that the late Reverend is going to put in an appearance for us, and also understand that Americans apparently tend to provoke a reaction from him.
That's what we've heard.
So, and he likes girls, and there's 3 girls here tonight, so that's pretty good going, I think.
3 American girls.
3 American girls from the colonies.
That's right.
Well, they live in his lifetime, you would have been living in the colonies. Yeah. So that's how I would think his mind construct would be for you being here tonight. Does this match up to everything that you've seen on the church? You've seen a video on this before previously.
I have. Definitely made a note when I saw your first video here at the church that this was one of the places I wanted to make sure that I came. Put it right on my bucket
You
list.
came, you saw, and
And here we are.
hopefully you're going to conquer.
Hope so.
Well, thank you very much, Ursula. I'm
Thanks
looking
for
forward
having
tonight for us all to work together and hopefully be able to share something very spectacular to all those people back
That was a
home.
voice.
Let's bring over our next party, and that's Dave. Hi, Dave.
Hello.
Well, thank you for coming over as well. What do you think of this place?
Well, I'm impressed. I thought it would be a little more in ruins, having seen it from the outside, but it seems to be very well put together, very well preserved, and I feel a lot of calm here right now. So-
Nothing, you've not picked up or felt anything or smelled anything unusual as yet?
No, that isn't yet.
But the indications are there for activity, I think, don't you?
Certainly, yeah. I mean, it's very environmental. It's, compared to the daytime at night, it has sort of a mystique to it. Of course, as all medieval churches do, right? But I'm not feeling a lot of unsettlement.
No,
We'll see
it
what-
varies. I mean, the times that I've been here, sometimes it feels a bit tense, other times it feels a little bit jolly. I think it largely depends upon the mood of the incumbent spiritual presence of the late Reverend. And as I mentioned earlier, in his life, he was a heavy drinker, he was a womanizer, and of course alcohol plays a part in the supernatural hauntings here, because allegedly you can smell his breath with alcohol on it. Occasionally you hear women in as well. Sometimes you think there's a party going on, and I'm fairly sure that in his lifetime there were probably what we would call, by modern standards, raves taking place in here, probably with the local populace and probably with local prostitutes, for which apparently he was very much embedded with. But he is an interesting presence for many different reasons, but he's also, from my opinion, he's somebody that hasn't lost touch with what's going on in the world. He knows about people. I mean, we were joking about you guys coming over from America, the colonies, because it would have been the colonies in his lifetime during the era of the Civil War. But of course, I think he's probably moved on a bit with that as well. He probably knows the world is a lot more different to what it used to be. He certainly knows about the ghost box, and we certainly get some interesting activity from there. So I think you're going to find this church a very interesting investigation, Dave.
Well, it sounds like it, and he sounds like an interesting personality, and the night is young, right?
Absolutely,
Okay.
yeah, totally. And we've got a lot to do. And of course, we've got one other special guest here tonight.
Yes.
And here he comes,
Without further ado,
Mr. Ferrari.
there we go.
Thanks, Dave. Thank you.
You're welcome.
No, but it's What built into the bodywork that's important, Eddie?
Of course it is.
Anyway, there's not much I can talk to you about Santon Church because you have investigated this place more times, I think, than anybody that I know.
About 6 years.
And I understand, from what you were telling me, an interesting incident occurred the other week, which might possibly come into play. I understand that there was a young lad here who was touched spiritually.
Yeah, he was.
In a very personal area of his body.
He was.
Without divulging too much detail.
I can honestly say that none of us laughed.
And what was the atmosphere like when this happened? Was it jolly or was it tense?
I can honestly say it's typical of Satan. It's sort of like you sort of feel really, really strong feeling. Amazing that just beforehand, because Satan is known for the giggles. All of a sudden, you can get a giggle just come from nowhere. And when it happens, I mean, it's like I'd always seen people in this situation, and I always thought to myself, that's strange. A couple of weeks ago, I had that situation, and you just cannot stop laughing.
Yeah, because it becomes infectious, doesn't it?
It's
Yeah,
strange.
and people kind of go with the flow of that.
No, I just can't stop.
Yeah.
There's no way you can stop laughing.
Well, I hope I don't get the giggles tonight because I would be, I would be all over
It
the
would be
place.
effective, but I can say for now it's strong in here.
Tell me,
Tummy is good.
what's the thing about Americans here? Tell me.
Well, we've had 3 actual investigations with Americans, and each time something really, really interesting has happened.
In what way?
We went into the vestry a while back, and while we were all in there talking and we were doing an investigation, it just absolutely went crazy in here. There was bangs, there was booms, and it was just amazing to hear.
So there's every possibility that might happen as well.
We'll have to wait and see.
Well, thanks.
And then we
Yeah.
had Norway
sorry.
bang, and that from inside the chancel while it was going on. Very, very strong, that powerful, that one. The other one we had, obviously, you made the recording of it for me, and that's the spirit that came behind me.
The feet.
Yeah, no, the one that I sent you, that I was standing there in the spirit.
Oh, that's right. Yes. Yeah.
Went a long
Well, there's so
way.
much stuff you've sent me from here. It's like a treasure trove of paranormal activity, isn't it?
So interesting that was. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, we might get something.
Well, I'm looking forward to it, and well, crack on. And just very briefly mention, I mean, they naturally don't want to appear on camera because they're shy, but Ursula and Dave's daughters are here, Eva and Elsa, and they're both very, very keen on the paranormal, but they're a little bit on the shy side, but they'll be joining us. So there will basically be 3 girls and 3 boys.
Indeed.
So I'm looking forward to seeing whatever we pick up tonight, and I'm sure you folks back home are certainly intrigued by what happens here. Anyway, we'll crack on with the investigation.
Chris.
Yeah, very quickly.
We have never investigated at this time of the actual day. This is the first time anybody's investigated this early.
Yeah.
So we've always been away, haven't we?
Well, it'll be interesting to see if we get a result. It's still early in the evening, it's about 6 o'clock, and it's dark, of course. I personally think that activity is not necessarily restricted by time phases. I mean, I've been in this church during the daytime and the door was opened, and that was patently in daylight. So I don't think the time of day is particularly relevant, but it helps certainly in the dark for picking up anomalous activity. As I said, anyway, we best press on. There's so much to do, and thank you all very much for joining us. Excellent. I'm a bit worried about the mic actually, because I'm running short on battery power on this one, but I think we got through it. That's why I wanted to curtail it a little bit. I was down on 1 bar. Right, now then, I'll turn this fella off. And now we need to set up I want to set the ghost box up so we're ready to go a bit later with that one. Take this fella off, I'll put it in there actually. Are we all excited?
And so.
Right, I'm going to take a couple of minutes because I've got to set up the...
Yeah, the stucco, everything physically, structurally, this building's in great shape, Chris. That's what
Oh,
I
yeah,
mean.
it is. It's well maintained by the council.
Yeah.
Yeah, they definitely look after it. I think Norfolk County Council, Eddie, don't you? They're a lot more flexible than other councils, aren't they?
They're very good.
Mm.
Yeah.
They
Trustees.
take on responsibility for loads of ruined churches that have been abandoned, and they are not restoring them, but they're making sure they're safe.
That's really wonderful.
So,
Trustees here are really good.
right, let's get the... You see this infrared light, Ursula, it is just amazing. It lights up the whole building.
Sweet.
You can get it in this slot. I bought this off a guy on eBay and he lied about its range, but it's still very powerful. He said it worked up to 500 C. It doesn't.
You did? What did you say?
Yeah, look.
Yeah.
The reds on that.
Have any full body apparitions been seen on this property at all?
Quite a few.
Well, we've got the feet, that's about...
Quite a few.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a lot of people, they will say all of a sudden they've seen a spirit in here, and I will always say 9 times out of 10 it's the same place, and I'll have to say to them, yeah, already been to seen many people.
Yeah.
I've seen them, quite a few.
Mm-hmm.
It's fantastic when you do.
Yeah.
In fact, I see once, and that was in pitch blackness.
What's that?
Oh.
They got a recorder going.
Oh,
And
So it's the same person you see quite often?
oh, many people have seen. I was in here once and I see this black shadow, and I thought to myself, oh, somebody just standing in front of me because it's pitch black. And I had my torch and I shone the actual light up like that, and it just disappeared in front of me. That was amazing, that was.
You ready, girls?
I was,
We're going to start the investigation. So we keep this area clear here because I want to use this for
Okay.
bits and pieces. I'll take this off because it'll no doubt fall off. It's pretty impressive, that light, isn't it?
Very much so.
It's very dark. Has anyone got a flashlight?
yeah, go on there somewhere. Yeah.
That's good. Right, now, let me show you on this camera how powerful this thing is. Look, where are you, Ursula?
I'm right here.
I'll show you first, look. Right, lights off. Right, that is just with the normal light.
Oh, nice.
But when you put this further on,
Oh, wow, that's incredible.
Wait, I'm asking. Oh, wow. Okay.
it's daylight, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right, who's going to do the camera, Red?
I'm not me.
I got mine.
Who's really good at it?
Elsa's excellent.
Elsa?
Or you can do it.
Right, it's on record. No, the record button's here at the side. See where that red line is, just below there. But you're actually recording now. So, yeah, follow me, because I want to stand over
Get
here.
a power.
Yeah, I just want to, yeah, I've got a flashlight. Right.
You sure?
Okay, if to Ursula, come round, just doing a pic. Okay, we're now set up, we're now on night cam, and as you can see, the light from this infrared illuminator completely lights up this building, which is great. Hopefully the Rev will put in an appearance. How are you feeling? Anything? Anything changed since we last spoke?
I just feel like a little creepy chills up your spine, you know, when you feel things are going to
Like
start
there's
to
somebody
happen.
there. And,
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what we'll do as an experiment. To Reverend Kendall, I know that you're here. We've brought some visitors over from what is in our time the former colonies of the United States. But of course, in your period of history, it would have been a recently settled colony. And I understand you've had interactions with Americans before. How do you feel about the fact that we now have a family of Americans here tonight? And of course, some of them are girls, and you certainly like girls, don't you? Can you give us a sign, Reverend, if you're here, please? I know that you won't, but it's always good to ask, isn't it?
Okay.
Why don't you say good evening to him and ask if he's going to say anything or do something?
Good evening, Reverend. I'm very happy that you are allowing us to be here in your church. We've heard some interesting stories about the things that went on here when you were the rector. And by interesting, I don't mean very good.
Oh, I've just smelled alcohol. I've just smelled alcohol. One of the precursors of activity is the smell of stout alcohol on the breath, and I've just smelled it, so yeah, he's here.
I feel a lot of tingling up my spine, pins and needles that up my arms, which is something for me that always precedes when something happens also.
Well, he's quite aware of your presence, and he's here now. I can actually feel him, and that smell of alcohol is just fading back in and out again. You'll pick a whiff of it up. It will happen tonight. You'll be sat there quietly, and all of a sudden you'll smell this foul, stale smell of alcohol on somebody's breath. That is probably the Reverend Kendall staring in the face, but fortunately you won't be able to see him. But if you're here and you're willing to make some indication of your presence, could you do so now, please? Let's wander down to the chancel because he's believed to be...
There was a voice there.
Yeah, I heard something there as well, yeah. But whether it translates to the camera or not, that's another question. Yes, different atmosphere here. This is a very beautiful church, Reverend. I know that the church that you existed in is different to this church, but the church which is here now is probably a bone of contention with you, but architecturally and spiritually, it seems an absolutely wonderful building. And I can imagine that you must have a great deal of pride being here. He's here. He's with us. I can feel him here. And I smell the alcohol again.
I feel very, very heavy, negative feeling right here in my chest.
You see, the thing is with him, right, he craves human attention, living people attention. And I don't think he's going to give up on the opportunity to communicate with us here tonight. And he's certainly curious, I feel, about you guys being here. I really do believe that. And I can see Eddie in the background recording. Anything at all, Eddie?
Strong feeling. Very strong
nothing
feeling.
on cameras yet, is there? And
No.
he was on the camera. Anything at all? You feeling anything?
You know, I feel as if my hair is being touched. I'm not sure if it's just the draft or
Or whether it's more psychological, perhaps?
Have you got, is that like a waft of breeze going in your face?
Yeah?
When I was recording earlier, I felt like someone was taking when Eddie was being recorded and I was holding the camera badly, sorry. I felt like someone was putting little fingers up, just all around my face, just little tiny touches. And I almost said I have to put the camera down.
Yeah, it kind of gets you that way, doesn't it?
But I couldn't, I just said
That was me that laughed.
Look, let's have a wander down the aisle, go back into the church and go down to the vestry where the tower is, and then other people can see exactly what the layout is. Right, so let's have a wander down.
That was me.
We've got the camera there. I did one on the floor. This plate is actually the grave of a man who actually built the second church here. He was a tax collector, and obviously the question remains as to where he got the funding from to be able to build this church, but here he lies. I don't think we've had any interaction from him at all, actually. Let's go down here.
Yeah, we haven't.
Now it feels weaker here. It felt a lot more tense up there.
I felt almost like I couldn't move when we were up there.
Yeah, and now here it's
Almost
eased
like-
off. Yeah, it's like it's.
Like pinned in the wall, sort of.
But now it feels free again. Let's see what we feel here.
I'm anxious to go in here again because when I was in here earlier, I felt like I heard something go
What
up
humanoid
in this
animal?
corner. It was like in. You're not quite sure,
But it was something
not
there.
quite sure.
Yeah.
But we heard something earlier when we first arrived.
But
and
here's an
came into the
atmosphere.
church.
Here
It's
is
a
an
totally
atmosphere.
different atmosphere.
Yeah. It's stronger than it is at the back of the church. Very strange.
One of the things we have had there is the sound of women crying out for help.
Hey, move your camera slide to one side. Sorry, repeat that.
Women calling out for help. Another one, we had once a woman by herself and we heard singing. Actually heard